I've read some stuff, and Brendan Behan and Samuel Beckett are my guys. So I study Beckett a lot, and so I love Behan and Beckett, and just read some of that, and kept going.
And then practice today too, right?
Yeah, we're just finishing up practicing. We wrote a couple new songs, or at least the start of new songs. So.
I was telling Jess, I don't think I ever went out like and did the traditional. I'm going to the
I
bar and like.
yeah, I've played it. I've done that. I don't. I'm not a big fan. Like the biggest I used to go and sit in a pub and read, Beckett plays or something, and try to be as absurdist as possible. Have some whiskey, and then at like 6:30 in the morning, and then that's it. And go
Nice.
home or go to work or whatever. So that was kind of usually, maybe what I would do, but all the like amateur stuff and green beer and all that crap I never did.
I think by the time like I would have been old enough to do that legally, I think I had already started my family. So
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day was, Reubens and silly
Mhm.
things at home.
Yeah, I like making corned beef, but I'm not supposed to eat it anymore. So, like,
Aw,
yeah, I usually make corned beef and have potatoes and cabbage and, that kind of thing, but, not today.
I don't know.
That's okay.
I was going to ask Jess, but I think Jess left us already. There she is.
Okay.
You're muted, Jess.
There you
Christian
go.
just came in and started dancing with me.
So I guess they are celebrating St. Patty's Day at that house, is what we're getting.
He is. He's playing Dropkick Murphys right now. And when we got married, we had an Irish wedding.
Mhm.
And Kiss Me on Shit Face was the last song to play at our wedding, and it's playing right now. So he wanted to dance.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine.
Like, I'm live right now, dude.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, for everybody.
Yeah, I think I upset him.
We're going to
Anyway,
bring him back in and he can dance for
I'm
everybody.
not going to dance on the live now. That's not
Darn
happening.
it. There went what happened? Speaking of live, Jess, hey, what's everybody listening to or watching right now?
Everybody's watching Scott Talk with Skagazine live on the Skagazine YouTube channel. If you need to pop in and out for whatever reason, you'll be able to catch this again on Spotify or Apple Podcasts once I publish the replay. So thanks for joining and watching. There's a few people on right now, and we'll see who else pops in. I'm here with my co-host, Eric.
Hey. And we have another Eric with us today. We have Eric Abbey with us today, who has been on our podcast before, but in case people missed it or for whatever reason have not heard of your name before, do you want to give them maybe like your Jeopardy introduction?
I'm Eric Abbey from Detroit. I've been playing ska since 1994 and reggae and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm still doing it. I never stopped, even in the aughts, where there was nothing going on except like 3 bands in the Midwest and a couple on the East Coast. And now it's great to have everybody back and supporting, and all the new people and all the new bands and all the other stuff that's going on. So I'm just happy to produce shows and be a part of them and bring as many people as I can to Detroit, and help out whoever needs to help out.
You've been part of which bands over the last 30 years or so?
The first band was Superdot, and then 1592, and then Dirty Notion for a minute, and then the Tellways for a minute, and then Killer Diller, and then Detroit Riddim Crew, and Navarro and the Traitors.
So how long has Detroit Riddim Crew been around?
Well, Riddim Crew is really like maybe since 2015, something like that. But that really was just me writing. Like Riddim Crew always started as a studio project kind of thing. That I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to write, and after 1592, I kind of put that band away. After we did 3 records and a bunch of tours and all that kind of stuff, I still had a lot of ideas that didn't really fit anywhere, and the Traitors were starting off, and other things were going, and so Riddim Crew just became like my writing outlet basically in the studio. And then when I started doing stuff, Memphis Goffleys was actually staying with me during a show, you know, at whatever. And Mike Bitts, the bass player, like offered to play. Hey, if you ever want me to play a bass, you know, I'd love to. So I'm like, he's one of my favorite bass players, and you know, I sent him what became Midnight Walk, or what was Midnight Walk, off of instrumental. I sent him that, and he, you know, sent back an amazing bass line, and I was like, okay, there's something here. This is a song. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna release this, and that's what became instrumental, with a whole bunch of different musicians all over the place. Eddie Ocampo is the drummer on that, from, you know, tons of places on the East Coast, and then, you know, then it became something, right? And then after COVID, and then I was starting to play out a little bit and just putting bands and hiring people together to play stuff, and I finally locked into actually 5 people that, you know, are all clicking, and we, you know, I had written this record before my crap happened, and then afterwards I was like, okay, now I have a band, I'm gonna put this out. So, and that's the kind of rough, quick history of Detroit Riddim Crew. And now we just wrote 3 songs possibly tonight that are gonna be the new kind of vibe and, you know, feel and all that other stuff that we're doing. Maybe.
So who's the rest of your band? Who else is in the Riddim Crew with you?
Fonte Everett is the bass player. John Raleigh is the keyboard player. Not on the record, but he came in right after the record was done, and he is the live pianist and organist, and he plays trombone, so we're going to get him on the trombone the next record too. And then Joshua James is the tenor sax player, and Ryan Gimpert is the guitarist. And I'm the drummer.
Are they all involved in other projects as well around Detroit?
Oh, everybody is. Yep. Josh is the director at the University of Detroit Mercy High School. He's the band director, and plays with 7,000 bands, and produces and, you know, teaches and all that other stuff. John Raleigh is playing trombone and with a bunch of different people, hired kind of gun type thing, jazz, blues, all kinds of stuff. Fonte plays with blues record, you know, everybody's a musician, right? Like that's what they do.
So can you share with us the origins of the name? Maybe what Riddim is?
Detroit Riddim Crew? Oh, okay.
I mean, it might sound self-evident, but
yeah, sure. I moved to Detroit in the city from the suburbs in 2014. And that's when the band kind of started, that idea or whatever. And I was also, when I started working on my PhD and my dissertation, I was going to Kingston a lot, Jamaica, and working with the University of West Indies and working there and doing those things and studying rhythms, right? So studying dub and rhythms and, you know, what happens with versions and what's the difference between a version and a rhythm and all this other kind of stuff. And then, you know, it was just a various different people, right, in the group. And, you know, everybody that the first record that I put out was a single, and Dave Hilliard is on it playing sax, and it was mixed and dubbed by Agent J, who would do the instrumental, like the guitarist for the Slackers. So he dubbed that, and that's the first single that was put out. And rhythm, right, like RIDDIM, to me is something that is, you know, the state of the song, right? Like the function of the song, the rhythm of it, right? And how, you know, you can do anything with that rhythm. You can dub it, you can put a singer on it, you can put another instrument on it, you can do anything. But you have to have the rhythm first, right? So that's kind of where this came from. And then I was working with a whole bunch of people in Jamaica and just all over the world, trying to write versions for them to sing over or to do whatever, you know. And that's kind of where the name came from.
And I learned something, right? I'd seen the Detroit Riddim Crew a few times. You'd open and you played some other shows, and I didn't realize that it was kind of your baby, and originally you had brought just other musicians. So the shows that I saw, you had maybe collected a couple musicians to help you that night, kind of thing.
Yeah, you know,
I think you opened for the Pilfers, I want to
yeah,
say.
we opened for the Pilfers, and I had a different drummer, and I played melodica and sung in the, fronted it. We opened for a couple people at Batch and that kind of thing, like Hub City Stompers, I think we did, and a couple things like that. Just as hey, we're gonna do this, and I got some songs to play them, and that was in, like, you saw like the development of what it has become now. Like, that was the growth stages of it. Nothing was bad with it. Nothing, everything. I like those versions, but those were just like one-offs. Like, hey, we need a band for this show. Let's get in it. Small, like, Pilfers are coming through or whatever for 420. So we did a show for 420 at Smalls with the Pilfers, right? And Cooley joined us on stage and sung over a rhythm, like that. That's the entire point of the band, right? Like, that's the entire point. Like, let's just play. Whatever happens, happens, right? If it's, we go out and we dub one song, one rhythm, and one thing for 10 minutes, well, that's what happens, right? And if somebody jumps up and grabs a mic, that's what happens, right? That's the feel, right?
Nice. And you just released an album called Out of the Dark.
Mhm.
And we were wondering, can you tell us a little bit of the inspiration behind the title and behind some of the songs in that album?
Sure. Like I said, the biggest thing was I started writing, and the way that I like to write stuff is exactly what happened tonight too. Just like a bassist and maybe one other person and me just kind of screwing around and trying to find stuff, right? Like on drums and figuring out stuff. And so I wrote with Killer Diller's bassist Ozzy Andrews. Him and I just got together and we were just writing, and we just, like, I hit record and we just in the studio and we just kind of played, right? And out of those playing, then I was like, okay, I'm going to turn some of these into songs, and some of them worked, some of them didn't, and see what happens, and just, test it out, right? And then my crap happened, and, I forgot all about those songs pretty much, right? Like, I didn't know where anything was. I was out of it mentally, all this stuff, right? Like, and I didn't know anything. And Rhythm Crew kind of came back together, and I started, like, just kind of figuring out, like, I had recorded for a band here called PT's Revenge. They asked me to put some trumpet on it, on a couple punk songs and stuff. That was the last thing I did before my heart shit. And I didn't even remember doing that. So I had to go back, and I started listening to these things and trying to figure that out. I'm like, oh wait, look at all these songs. Cool. All right, I wonder what I can do with it. So I started listening to it, and literally it helped me get out of, like, my mental fog and out of the dark, literally, right? Like, music did those 6 songs, right? And then I put a lot of energy and, like, effort into creating these songs. And then I called up Josh and said, hey, I got a bunch of horn lines that are just written on piano. Can you come over? Let's play them. I'll play trumpet. And, the record, I played trumpet, melodica, keyboard, organ, piano, and drums, right? All of those things. And then the other guys, there's only a 4-piece on that record, came in and played guitar, bass, and sax over that. So that's what became the band. So the title Out of the Dark, is literally, like, everybody keeps asking me, or kept asking me about, did you see anything, what happens, like flatliner experiences kind of thing. And I don't remember anything, so it's just dark. So this music and this record helped me get out of the dark.
So you say that
I hope it helps everybody else too, or anybody else. I think, like, music is that's why I play music.
Music is therapy, at least to me. And I know to a lot of people, and that's why we do what we do here, because there's so many people who are not musicians, but they find some kind of comfort or release by just listening to it. So thank you. You said that you had, like, a mental fog after what happened to you. Did you actually forget how to play anything and have to reteach yourself, or it was just...
No, like, that was the weird thing. And this had happened to me. I had a concussion when I was younger, like 18, playing soccer, and the same kind of thing happened. My short-term memory was just destroyed, like, for a long time. But my long-term memory was accessible, and I could remember things. And still to this day, I have kind of problems with, like, remembering people's names and phone numbers and stuff like that. Nobody gives phone numbers anymore. It's just phones, but whatever. Like that kind of stuff. unless I do a lot of mnemonic devices and kind of memory devices and those kind of things and force it into my long-term memory. The easiest thing for me to relate to is like vocals, like singing, right? To memorize a song, I have to write it down. I have to write the vocals. I have to write it out. I have to sing while reading it and then put the paper away. Like there's steps, right? So for all the Traitors stuff that I sing on, I had to do this, right? Like then it got into my head, and then everything was, good. So, yeah. But I didn't know. It was really interesting that I could play and everything kind of came right back. I don't, the human body is strange.
Thankfully so, right?
Yeah.
So are there any, do you have any favorite tracks on that album? Any that are more
because well, for me, the both the records, Instrumental and Out of the Dark, both of those, the coolest part for me is the B-side, right? Because other people are doing their dubs, right? So what happened, and what I love about this group and what this project is that other people want to help and dub stuff and do things like that. So what with Instrumental, like I just asked Asian J to do it because he had done the Hilliard track, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to do a whole record like this. And I could hear, like, I didn't hear it before I put it out, right? Like I did, and then I remastered it or sent it to the mastering engineer and all this other stuff, and it was, that was great. So this time, John Roy in California dubbed the B-side, and from Smoke and Mirror Sound System, and we were working at Supernova together, doing the dub stuff and the ska education last year, and we got to talking, and that's what led to this. He had played on the Instrumental record a couple sax parts for me, and I had played trumpet for him a couple places, just recording stuff. And so that was the coolest thing for me, was to hear what these guys do to my music, right? Like that was awesome. So I really, like, I don't know, all of them are like special to me. Like on this record, all of this stuff is really like important to me. And they all have different meanings and different things and different ways to, to relate, I guess.
And I had the opportunity to go to the record release show.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Which was amazing. And Jess brought it up. I was kind of curious about this too. So for me, that type of show was definitely a different experience. Like I'm typically used to, the Scott Kids shows are, small as the Sanctuary. Mm-hmm. So to be in a club like that, and you start playing and a giant curtain kind of opens up. Definitely a cool, almost like surreal, different experience for myself. What is that like to experience for you to play?
Well, okay, so the biggest thing about what is happening with this band for me is that, like, when I was in high school, I was playing jazz, right? I was playing jazz band. I was playing, all these things for trumpet and all other stuff. And I'm almost 50 now. I'll be 50 this year and in June. And like now I'm playing jazz again, right? Like in jazz clubs. And it's not really jazz, but it's very jazz influenced and, whatever and all these things. And it's becoming, it's what I've always, I guess, done, right? And then ska came in as well, right? Like, so I was playing jazz way before ska because I didn't know anything about ska. And I found ska in high school, right? And the Scotalites, and then that blend of jazz and ska, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I have to do it. And then it turned into two-tone and all this other kind of stuff, right? So to play back at these clubs are, like, for me, it's amazing. Like Cliff Bell's, the first time we did it, that was the second time. The record release was the second show. The first show we got there, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna like accept us. Like, what are they gonna think of us, right? Like, what is the club? Like, what are the people gonna do? Like, is the place gonna be full? Is it gonna be empty? Like we played both of the shows on Thursday night, right? And both of the shows were packed, and people loved it, and it was great, So, they asked us back, and I said, okay, well then I got a record coming out. I'm gonna turn it into a record release party, and I got 6 months to do it, so it gave me a deadline to produce stuff and talk with Chuck and jump up and that kind of thing.
So having not been to a show like this before ever in my life, I'm curious. Is it just your band that played twice, like 2 sets?
Yeah.
Nobody else opened or anything?
No. No, it's just there are two seatings, right? Like so the crowd pays for one ticket or one seat, right, at a table, and then we play the show and then we turn the tables basically. Everybody gets kicked out and then we play a similar show maybe for the late show, or maybe it's a little different, maybe there's some we dubbed a little bit more. There's some guests sometimes. It depends on, what the night brings, but yeah. St. Patrick's Day shenanigans.
No, this time it was the kid. They don't talk about it, not like doing something.
I also had the chance to see you at Willis's bar, which was
yeah.
That was a cool experience too.
Yeah, the Willis Show Bar was really awesome, and now it's closed. And I wish I had money. Yeah, I wish I had money to buy it, but I don't. And I would love that place. Was awesome. It was an old strip club, and I'm not talking about 70s. I'm talking about 50s, right? Old, where they had showgirls and that kind of thing, and that like burlesque and all of that. And they did all of that still now, and then they closed, unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't know. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
And you have a show coming up you're pretty excited about.
Correct? Yeah, April 23rd, we're playing at the oldest jazz club in the world, Baker's Keyboard Lounge in Detroit, and it's right by my house, and it's something that I can't even like wrap my head around yet. Like I don't understand how we got there. I don't understand. People are like, I can't believe you're playing there. What the hell? Like I saw my, Miles Davis there. My dad saw this person here or whatever. And it's been around forever, and every person that is anybody in jazz has played there. And it's crazy that I get to play there, and I don't understand, but I'm very, very lucky and very, very excited for it. And it is very much, they have a great soul food kitchen, and it's awesome. It's a cool experience. It's just, if you Eric, you had both experiences. This one is a third experience that's similar, but I would highly recommend it because there's nothing like it. The whole bar is a piano.
Oh, really?
A piano theme. It wraps around. It's crazy. Like you can go and look at the history. Just go to Baker's Keyboard Lounge, and you can look at the history of who has played there. Like if we make the ghosts happy, that I'll be happy. I'll be a happy person.
I will be in Philly visiting Jess at that point in time.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be back. Hopefully the ghosts will like us, and then hopefully we'll play again.
That gives you a reason to do it again, right?
Yeah.
This is not Creative Fest weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I guess you're not coming out this year.
No, we're not playing, and that last year, wow, did that take a lot out of me? That whole weekend, that was a heck of a weekend. But that's a hard drive in April.
Yes,
I love it. It's one of my favorite festivals, but it's a pain to get out there.
When you get a Supernova, do you fly?
No, we drive that too.
That's hard too.
That's a pain in the ass too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that drive, like when I grew up in Jersey, like I had family in Michigan, so I've done the East Coast to Michigan drive my entire life. Like it's just.
I forget where in Jersey you grew up. I know you told us before.
Yeah, in North Part, Pompton Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, Riverdale by Riverdale.
Are there any plans to go outside of Detroit and play any shows? Is that something?
Yeah, we played a couple of shows in Chicago at Reggie's with like Stop the Presses, and then we played a show. Riddim Crew played a show with the Free Coasters from Florida.
Nice.
They were at Reggie's, and Chuck asked us to come down, so we did and played there. I think we played with another band, maybe the Toasters or somebody else. I don't remember who else we played there.
Did you not play Slackfest one year? Or am I making that up?
No, Killer Diller did.
I was thinking.
And the Traitors did.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple times. I don't think, no.
Okay.
1592 played with Slackers a lot whenever they came to Michigan, but not Slack. It was before Slackfest. It was everything at Blind Pig, but yeah, yeah. We're hoping, if we get, if we get offers, we'll come out and play wherever. I really would love to play with like other bands like the Attractors and that kind of thing, that are similar to us. Like I would love to do that. The Drastics in Chicago are another band that's like us, and there's like a lot of like Flying Vipers, and it's late. I'm dropping the name. Loving Paupers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that. That would be all those bands. We'll play with. We're playing with Half Past Two.
I was going to
They,
bring
they
that one.
come right, like they're coming through. I don't know, in May, I
It's
think.
at beginning of May, I want to say.
Yeah, like it's
I
a
wanna
Monday
say-
night or something like that. So but it's right by my house, so let's go. Let's play and.
That'll be. I mean, Corktown will be a fun place to.
No, it's at Paris.
Oh, is it Paris? I'm sorry, I was thinking it was Corktown.
Yeah, yeah, Paris bar or whatever. So, yeah. So we like the beauty of Rhythm Crew. Like if we the offer is there and we want to do it, we do it. Like it's not there's no pressure in the band. There's no nothing. Like that's kind of the point of it, right? Like, and for me, like Traitors, we have an agent. We have this stuff. We have on Bad Time. We have all that stuff that I am glad and I love that. Like, but Rhythm Crew is just like, okay, this is the stuff I want to play. And Traitors is too. I wrote most of it or half of it, right? I love playing in that band. I love playing in Killer Diller, and I love playing music. Rhythm Crew is me, right? And Traitors is too, but Traitors is the other, like, not punkier side, but I guess two-tone side of me.
So now that you found like what seems to be like permanent band members, is it more collaborative, the writing process, or?
That tonight was the first step of that. That's the whole point. Like that, I told everybody in the band, I'm like, I'm not writing. Like I'll write a song or I'll write this or whatever, or I'll add what I think or something. But I want you guys to write. I want everybody else's voices to come in, because you all played my stuff. That's awesome, and I appreciate it. Now let's go off into, wherever it takes us.
And you already have 3 songs, so there you go.
Kind of the start, and it was just with the piano player with John Infante and me tonight, because people are sick or whatever happens, and that's always great. Like that's how stuff starts, right? Like that for me, that's how it goes. Like if you're a musician, just start playing and see what happens. Right? That's exactly what happened today. We hit record. I've been doing that since the 90s with a tape, like taping over the tape, the little hole on the top, right? And then pushing record on a boombox. And that's how like Superdot wrote all of our songs. Like that's what we did. We just played, right? And then, oh wait, this little section that's like 3 minutes or two bars. Okay, that becomes a song, right? Or we restructure it this way or do whatever. Right. There's not a lot of opportunity to like, here's a fully functioned song I'm going to bring to practice and you guys just play it. Like that happens sometimes, right? But I like when everybody is collaborative and kind of going off. Like even if I write something like that for like, that's my favorite part about Navarro The Traitors, is that like I'll write something and then it'll turn into something completely different with the rest of those guys get their opinions and stuff in it. And I love that. Like that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing, right? Like that's why we work together. That's why like we've been the same people in the same band for so long, because everybody just kind of writes different things in different ways and different ideas, and it works, right?
And you have some writing going on now with them?
Yeah, we're doing. I think next month, early April, we're doing a writing session to demo all of the songs that we have for our 3rd record. So, yeah.
Awesome. I know Ken told me at Supernova, he's like, there's going to be new stuff coming. Right?
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing with everybody now. So now we have to shift kind of the way that we do things, which is okay. It's just a different way,
So you're
Yeah.
down to 2 projects now. You got the Detroit Riddim Crew and the Traitors. That's it, right?
That's it. Yep. That's all I got. Everything else is cool. I'm all good with everybody, right? Like Detroit, Dirty Notion. Like I started that band with Scott, or Scott started that band, easy. And then I played drums and did a couple EPs with them, and then just okay, no problem. I'm not gonna do that. We did a couple runs to New York and stuff, and then they got a different drummer, and okay, cool, no problem. Right? Telways was the same way. Like I started that band. I think I wasn't the first drummer. I don't know. I played drums. I don't know. I think the second one, maybe the third one, but and then did a couple EPs with them, and then they replaced me, and then Killer Diller. I was playing whatever they needed me to play: trumpet, keyboard, whatever, piano, whatever. I never played drums because Scott was in that. Scott Culling was a drummer and band leader there. So, but I love Killer Diller. It was too much for me. Like I couldn't process it after all my stuff. Like it was just so much. And then I was playing with the Loyal too, and the same kind of thing happened. I like everybody. Everybody is good, no problem. Just I have too much in my brain going on, and I needed to step back.
Well, you're also doing some producing too, correct? Have you know?
Yeah, I mean that's basically I'm stuck at this desk for a long time, like every day. That's what I do. If I'm not teaching, if I'm not on campus teaching, I'm teaching from this desk in my studio or practicing and talking to you guys or whatever. And then I produced, and I was really lucky that they asked me to do that. I just got done, producing Dads on Couches, which is they're awesome. They're good people first off, but they're awesome kind of musicians, like weird punk, no effectsy kind of thing. It's funny, and the writing is like, because I'm producing it and engineering it and recording it and all that other stuff. I actually get to like hear all the vocals constantly and 7,000 times, right? And it's hilarious. It's amazing. They have a song about Dungeons and Dragons. They have a song about it's crazy. But
Sounds
yeah,
like
I'm
fun.
excited about that. Yeah.
We have a question in the live chat.
Okay.
Somebody wants to know who your favorite Kapal is.
I'm just gonna say they all are. Yes, they all are. As I was talking to Nick the other day, I was saying the Capals are like this force to be reckoned with, right? Like if like they're in so many genres of like music now, and they're all kind of like, it's kind of like me a little bit if you like tripled me, right? So like that's why I think it's funny. So yeah, I like all of them. They're all good. They're all nice.
Paul in the chat said that was a cop out.
Yeah, it is a cop out. That's fine.
And that's Benny.
Yeah.
I don't believe it was Benny.
But they're playing Friday, so in town at Corktown with Whiskey Brisket and Inspector 7 and some other bands. I'm sure there's a couple of them I'm forgetting. So
there is. I'm forgetting them too. And
Dads on Couches is not one of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dads on Couches.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Friday. Yeah.
The No Ways are playing, and
Okay.
Science Fair. I may have messed that up.
Yeah. Okay.
And
then Boy Detective just keeps dropping huge shows that are like, I'm like, what the hell? Like they're playing with Fishbone now, and then they're playing with Suicide Machines and Mustard Plug and all this other kind of stuff. And that show with Five Iron Frenzy, my God, that just got announced. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is. Somewhere
Indianapolis?
Or Indianapolis. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're gonna come out to the show in Grand Rapids.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That is gonna be big. So.
It's been a good year for them.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows coming up, so we have Big Boss BBQ coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, just in case somebody's not from the Detroit area, do you want to tell them what that festival's all about? Or
sure. Pre-COVID, guy started this festival at Kelly's Bar in Hamtramck, and the Traitors played, and a bunch of other people played, and tons of people played. Actually, Danny Rebel and the KGB played. There were tons of bands, but the guy that was running it asked me because he didn't really know what to do with sound or do it, like anything like that. He just knew the bands and he put it together. And so I ran sound for him. And then he asked me to take it kind of over. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do this or not. This seems like a lot of work, blah, 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 blah. And then I wound up doing it, right? He wound up moving out of state somewhere. I think he's in Kentucky now or something like that. I don't know. I forgot where he is. Larry Macy's his name, and he was a great guy. He's good. He's still a good guy. I'm still, whatever. But he started it, and I was just helping out. And then I think the second year I ran it at Smalls because I wanted an actual stage for people and brought in different people and different things. And I'm I think the Crombies played that year, and there's a bunch of different people, bands, and then COVID hit, and then I don't remember if I did another one after COVID. I think I did a couple years ago, and then I was not going to do it, and then everything started at Batch Brewery, which is in Corktown too, but it has a huge stage and an outdoor thing, and it's like kind of perfect for festival environment type thing. Decided to turn it into 2 days, and we're bringing a bunch of bands and different things and different, vendors and all kinds of stuff that is going to go on June 12th and June 13th.
And I'm trying to remember. I know you have to be careful, but I know announced already. So the Traitors are playing. The Royals playing, am I correct?
Maybe
they might be.
That's not announced yet, but yeah.
If it wasn't, I didn't know.
Killer Diller is.
What?
Killer Diller is.
That's what I'm thinking of. Killer Diller.
I'm trying to think of who was announced already. Killer Diller.
Crombies was announced.
I'm sorry.
The Crombies was announced.
Crombies, yeah. Killer Diller, Crombies, Traitors, Antagonizers, ATL. They're coming in. And Circle City Deacons. And I think that's all that was announced so far. But there's one evening, Friday night, we'll start with DJs at like 5, and then it will go to 11 or 12. And then Saturday is going to start at like 3 o'clock and then go all day and night. So there'll be DJs, there'll be, lots of, and Batch has a huge like smokers and all kinds of barbecue and all this stuff. There's going to be, I already have a couple vendors, so there'll be things to buy and things to do. It's all ages. You can bring dogs. You can, there's a park right across the street. There's really good beer at Batch. There's really, like all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited about that. It would be a fun time. I really am.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. And Batch is just a fun place too. So
yeah, I mean, and we've been building it up a lot, like because of the ska nights and the ska Thursdays and all other kind of stuff that's happening. Like, I run sound, and I'm still running sound there for ska nights. So I'll still be there, even though Killer Diller, I'm not playing with Killer Diller. I'll still be doing sound for them. So it's going to be a good time, I think. And did I announce that? No, I haven't yet. Yeah, you're throwing me off, Eric. You're trying to get all these like early announcements here. But I will say, early bird tickets are now available, and they're cheaper for 2 days tickets. I don't remember what I think it's like $20 cheaper than it's going to be right now, and I think that ends in April. So go get your tickets, right? Because all that and always buy advance tickets for everything, because it helps out everybody. It helps the bands, it helps this club, it helps everybody, right? Because then they know that they can pay their people, right? And they can pay their bands, and they can pay their, whatever, right? No one's becoming a millionaire with this stuff. It's ska and punk.
This is true.
Right? It's not like I don't run the Boss BBQ to make money, right? I don't run shows to make money. I run shows to play music, and to, the reason that I got into producing shows and producing music was because no one was doing ska, right? And, I wanted to hear ska, right? So how do you hear ska? Well, you produce shows, right?
Do it yourself.
Yeah, you just do it yourself, and you book people. Right. And when I moved back from the East Coast in the early 2000s, right, there was nothing going on. So I put a band together, and then I found people like Mark and Green Rockers, and people, you know, like oh man, it's late. My brain's gone. Tim in Catbite now, but he was playing with, you know, other people before. And so that became, you know, what happened, right? And Sammy K and all these people that were like young kids, right, in the 2000s playing music. And I'm like, okay, come to Detroit.
Well, I already bought my ticket. I bought
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'm that guy who gets scared that everything's going to sell out. So like, as soon as things
Well,
are,
I mean, Batch is a huge place, so like because it's outdoor, but it's covered, right? So it's like just a parking lot, basically a fenced-in parking lot, which also makes my heart happy because it's very Jamaican, right? Like it's very like just throw up a stage and some sound and let's have a party. Right?
What have you been listening to lately?
What have I been listening to? Well, because I have like been on a jazz kick a lot because of all the stuff that we're doing. But you know, a lot of Ernest Ranglin stuff is really like that's my influence for Rhythm Crew. A lot of Monty Alexander and Ernest Ranglin and some of the like ska jazz people, right? New York Ska Jazz Ensemble I've been listening to a lot. A lot of dub. I got into what's this record? Alvarosi's. This one? It's probably backwards. I just got that. It's a really good dub album. There's like two part there. Listening to that. Let's see. Not a lot of pop stuff right now is really attracting me. I don't mind pop generally, but nothing is really like sticking out. That viral band from Quebec is really cool. Angien de Potoy or whatever, however you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but they're dressed in polka dots and playing weird math rocky kind of things. That's not really math rock, but it's as soon as you go Google them, you'll see.
I'm going to be Googling this when we get
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them.
It's they went viral. They had one show, and now they're somebody bootlegged that show, and you can't even get the record anymore. And it's
Wow.
two people. There's a guy they're both masked, and they're playing with polka dots and loop pedals and a drummer, and it's pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff. I like weird avant-garde stuff, but I also like pop and straight structures too. So that's kind of what I'm listening to, I guess. A lot of Roy Hargrove, if you know who that is a trumpet player, like jazz kind of funk kind of stuff. I have been listening to Daz on Couches a lot because of their
That's fair.
That's the most. I've been mixing them all day. So you know that's really what I'm listening to a lot now. So yeah, that's
cool.
Sorry, I'm mesmerized by these pictures of, is it Angine Day?
yeah.
Oh, you looked it up already.
Yeah, they're not only wearing polka dot, but like their guitar's polka dot and their hat, their background, like everything, the table.
And the drum set is covered with like
Oh, that's a drum set. I thought it was a table. That is a drum set.
And it's weird. People are saying that it's math rock, but my definition of math rock and genre, I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just saying that in my opinion, in my subjective opinion, math rock, you have to play something different every measure, right? And this group has a lot of groove-based stuff. So it's like, it's still weird and microtonal and strange noises and stuff, but there's a groove to it. And like you can nod your head, right? But, you know, that's fine. And of course, I've listened to the Pogues today and, you know, that kind of stuff too.
All right.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, yes.
I haven't had any Dropkick Murphys today, but I will before the end of the night, I'm sure.
I still hear it playing out there.
Yeah.
They're still playing at Jess's house.
Yeah.
I want to go back because we forgot to ask the question about Detroit Riddim Crew, how John Roy got involved on the dub side. And when you're doing shows, have you ever thought of like bringing them out to do shows with you?
Yeah, that's the next plan.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we talk about
That's
that already when I was gone?
no, no. My intent really with like all of this stuff that I've been doing with Rhythm Crew and it started back in 1592 days when I was playing keys. I would have a little mixer next to me and like dub while we're doing it, right? And this all started with Dub as a Weapon when I saw them, and Dave Hahn had all this like pedal boards and all this other kind of stuff, and he was dubbing live and like live band. They were playing into him, and then he was dubbing it and then sending it to the board. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing! I have to do this. So I figured out how to do it my way, in a different way. It's not like him and not as good, but I am only one person, right? Like I can't do all this stuff live particularly very well, right? Like so. I really hope that John can come out at some point and do some stuff with us. I would love that. I would love, for that to happen in a live setting, like recorded or whatever. And, I consistently tell sound people, right, like the guy at Cliff Bell's that we just played for the record release, I'm like, hey, I know him from way back, and I'm like, second set, do whatever you want. You want to mix and dub us? Go ahead. Put reverb on there. Do delays? Do whatever you want. I don't care, because I know you, and I know you know what you're doing, and blah blah blah. So, I love that. Like I really do love that. I think that there's a place for that with this kind of music completely. Like, I love, if you know the band, Japanese band called Mute Beat. They're another influence of mine. I wrote about them in the book and the last book, and they're like in the 80s and then 90s, and now I think they're still doing stuff today. I don't know. I don't think so though. Maybe not, but they're one of the first bands to do the same kind of thing. They had in their band an engineer, like live engineer that dubbed them live, and that that's cool. So yes. John, if you're listening, I don't think you are. I think you just text me that you have practice today too, right now. So, but if you watch this, yeah, let's do it.
We can make a clip and send it to him too.
Yeah.
Where is he based again? I forget. We're supposed to bring him on actually.
San Diego somewhere, like outside San Diego or Southern Cal somewhere. I'm not like, I don't know anything about California except for when I go there, but I don't like going
Right.
there.
You're one step ahead of me because I've never been to California yet.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a long time. It was not like a bucket list thing. To tour there was awesome when the Traitors did that tour. It was amazing, but again, tour is not visiting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's getting in and out of a van, right? But,
Although you did get to see wasn't it Japan? You guys made it to Japan once, didn't you?
yeah, we toured Japan. Yeah, it was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, touring is fun. It's great. It's amazing. Like I love doing it, but it's also like when people think about it, like you get maybe a couple hours in a city at the most. Like you show up in a city at noon, maybe you got a sound check at 3, and then you got a show at 10. You got some time, but not like you have dinner or something. Like you can't really explore a lot of stuff. When we were in Japan, we did because we had like days off and stuff like that, and those kind of things. But
Makes sense.
it's just like whenever you live in New York, it's just like you live in New York or Detroit or any major city, and people come in and they're like, "Oh, I want to see all the tourist stuff." And you're like, "I've never seen the tourist stuff."
This is
right?
true.
Like, what do you want to see? I'll show you the real stuff, but I've never been to the tourist stuff, right? Like, I can't believe how many times when I was living in Manhattan, that people were like, "Oh, let's go to the World Trade Center." I'm like, man, that's like 3 subways away. Why do we have to go there? Like, like all this stuff, But,
Like Eric, when he comes to Philly, he's like, I have to go see the spot where the
That's-
cars park in the middle of the street. Like, okay.
Yep.
Where did you take? We went somewhere that Ox hadn't been yet. I'm trying to remember.
Did you run?
We went to Eastern State Penitentiary last time.
Oh.
Yeah, we did a tour of that. So that was cool.
Gotta run the Rocky steps too. And all
We,
that.
I
we
did
took
that.
her there.
Okay, good, good.
Okay, I didn't run them. I walked with
What?
quickly up them.
We did not take them to Patzergino's because we don't do that. Like you're saying, like there's not places that someone who lives somewhere we go.
Yep.
And that's definitely one of them. Anyway, since we're talking
Yep.
about where is your favorite place to play where you actually had time to explore?
Oh, geez.
Obviously Detroit, but after that,
Well, like I don't actually have a really favorite place. Like I really like Philly, like Kung Fu Necktie. That area was cool.
Oh, the neckties.
I
Who did
like
you
that
play
area
there?
walking around. I really like Boston a lot. Like we played outside Boston, then we played inside Boston. It was cool. I love playing New York and Brooklyn, and I love New York just because it like every 2 blocks is a different area and different feel. Like that's what I really like about New York. So you can play, Brooklyn, or you could play Lower East Side, or you can play, like, and it's all totally different,
Right.
like, and totally different people, different, club, whatever. Um, what is it? What was it? I don't remember. Knitting Factory, I think we played in LA. I really liked that place. I didn't really love LA, but I really liked that place. They treated people well, and it was a great time. House of Blues in Anaheim was really fun to play because that was like on Disney World, which was kind of weird and surreal, right? Like that you're playing in like these, like it was very strange, but it was cool. I don't really have a favorite. I like stories, and I like places and environments. I mean, I love Japan. Was the best experience playing music ever because they treat you anywhere outside of the US, they treat you much better than the US does as a musician. So in Japan, it was just like we were treated like you were supposed to be treated. Like, they fed us, and just, not like rock stars, just like people that they respected, right? Because you're giving us music, right? If in the US, if we all treated everyone like that, it would be a better environment, right? Like, the $50 shows, and like no one should be making $50 a person anymore, ever. Like I hate that. Like people do that, and they think that that's a lot, but nobody pays that either, and that's a problem, right? Like music and art needs to be paid, right? Like needs to be like people are providing a service, right, for you. It's that old meme of, oh, do you want to play for exposure? Well, you want to come and bartend at my house party for exposure?
yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's the same, like that's what it is. Like pay me, right? Like I'm creating something. This is actual work. Like this is something that like is valuable. But I teach that in my classes all the time. There's a essay that is about, what's the ideal author, right? And the ideal author is somebody that like, just creates and is never charges money, and just, like that's like, and that's BS. Like people need,
We were actually talking. I hosted a show last night, and it was a terrible turnout, probably because there was tornado watch, crazy weather. It was a Monday night, and it was the night after the Slackers played, so everybody already went out on a work night the night before. But really good. We had the Scrub Ups, Dead Leavers, and Be Decent, all great bands playing original music. And we're talking how like in Philly, we're in the area of Philly, I noticed a lot of people like to go out for cover bands, and as opposed to going out for regular music and discovering new bands.
Mhm.
I think that's crazy. Like they'll pay so much more to go see a cover band.
The biggest bands around here are the Mega 80s, which is all 80s covers, and then 90s at Night or something, which is all 90s bands covers. And then there's all a bunch of different cover bands, but like those bands sell out theaters all the time. I'm like, you can just listen to this music on the radio. Like, why I never got it. I don't get cover bands. I don't get the like tribute bands either. Like I just don't understand them. Like that's fine. You want to do it, go right ahead. But like I don't want to see a like version of Van Halen or a version of, like somebody covering those things,
Yeah.
right? But
It's not just here.
yeah, no,
Look,
there's someone that I used to know more, but now like just an acquaintance that plays in a Foo Fighters cover band, and they kill it. They make tons of money.
right?
Like,
Like you're just playing somebody else's music.
yeah, yeah. I think they're called the Lou Fighters. Yeah, that's
I'm
their
not
name.
discounting what they're doing, but I mean, to
Yep.
choose that over going to discover new bands that are playing original music is just beyond me. And I know, like Broken Goblet, Broken Goblet from This Is
Yeah.
Not Quite the Past. That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite venues, and they used to have a lot more original music. I'm barely there anymore because it's all cover shows.
Because that's what they make money on too.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
what it
that's
is.
like
Like,
that makes sense, but like
from a business
it
perspective, yeah.
sucks. It sucks, but that's what happens, right? And see, that's what I'm like. Detroit Rhythm Crew is the complete opposite of that. Like, you have no idea what you're going to experience, and we don't want you to experience. We want you to have like a listening experience, right?
It's kind of like the magic in it, right?
That's exactly what it is. It's just that's what like we're just vibing, right? Like that's all we're doing. We're just playing, and yeah, we have some structures of some things, but some other thing, most of the things are just whatever we feel, right? And the songs that that I wrote or that are on this record or something we play, but it's going to be different than the record because it's different time, right? Like it's it'll still be the same melody or something. You'll recognize it, but that's it. Then we're gone, and then we'll come back to that melody, and then that's the end of the song, whatever. So it's much more. And that's like, and I appreciate, like, I know that Eric, you came to Cliff Bells, and I saw Chris there, and Nick actually came too for the second set from Daz on Couches, another Kapal. So maybe Nick's my favorite.
There you go.
There you go.
I think
Yeah, but like that, getting people into different environments like that makes me happy as hell. Like I love that. Like I love, like, you guys come to Willis Show Bar. That was awesome. Like like I think you were the only table there, or maybe there's one other table. We're still gonna play. We're still gonna have fun. We're still gonna vibe. We're gonna still play, and we appreciate all of it. If there's 10 people or 100.
And I think people miss out by not trying different experiences and trying different bands and just exploring a little bit.
100% agree.
Yeah. So they should be coming on April 23rd then, correct?
Yes, because it's a different environment, right? Like, and yeah, it's sit down. It's sit down and just enjoy the music, right? And maybe like watch musicians play music, right? And that's something that, like, for me, and that really is the big kind of shift for me, because that's the way I grew up playing music, right? Like in jazz clubs or blues clubs or something like that. And then I found ska and was running around in the pit and all this other kind of stuff too. And now I'm coming back to that, and I also do the pit stuff too. Like kind of like, so it's awesome for me that I have both of those like things that in the same genre, kind of, right? Like Jamaican influenced music, I guess is what you want to call it, whatever, right? But they're like the fact that I can play a Traitors show and be sweaty, and then play a Rhythm Crew show and be sweaty, just for a different reason, right, is awesome. Like, that's awesome. So come to both shows, come to all shows, right? And then you can go to the Boy Detective and see a different type of ska, and then you can go to Hub City or wherever else and see a different type of ska, and like just go all of it, right? Like Brunt of it, right? And like all these different bands, like there's all these different amazing things about these different things, and maybe you don't like it, maybe you do, but you got to experience it, right? And then you can decide, because there's no way you're going to be able to experience what a Devin K and the Solutions show is, or a Brunovich show is, on a record. Like, you can't. Like, you can still like the music and listen to the music, but like seeing those bands is different, right?
Yeah.
Like, and Boy Detective too, and
I was going to say Boy Detective is
like all the bands that Suicide Machines and all the other kind of stuff. Every band, like, that's what, for me, like, I have to see that stuff, right? Like, even, you know, you can go from jazz or blues or anything. Like when you see that, there's a different thing. Like if you see the band in Click Bells or in a club in New York or in a club in Philly or something like that, that's a sit down like supper club, like that environment, like that's a different experience than like you said, like dancing around in the pit. And you know, it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. Plus,
thing.
Plus, like April 23rd, the same kind of thing. You can come at 7:30 and be home at 10. Or you can come to the late show and, you know, be home at midnight. You know, like that's okay. Like either one is fine, right?
So 7:30 to 10. How long are you actually playing for? How long's your set?
Riddim Crew, we play 2 hour and 15-minute sets.
And then you do another for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
No.
Oh, okay.
2 hour and 15. Hour
gotcha,
and 15,
gotcha.
take a break, hour and 15.
Okay.
Which I thought was great. You're like, all right, well, we're gonna go eat dinner and then we'll be back. So.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. Like, and then what happened, the biggest problem with that, the only problem with that actually, is that everybody wants to talk in between sets, and that's the only time I have a break to eat. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta run. I have to eat something because I'm gonna play another hour and a half, and I gotta breathe. So that's the only issue, and that is something that, like, when I think, you know, that's all just like backstage, and when people go to shows and stuff, they don't realize, like, people aren't being mean. Most people are not being mean or standoffish. They're just trying to take a breath, right, after a show or before a show or get into it or whatever, right? Most people. Some people are just dicks, but whatever. Just people.
Is there a different routine that you go through to prep for different types of shows, like for Detroit Riddim Crew versus the Traitors?
Not really. I tell people all this all the time. Like, I mean, for me, playing drums is a lot more physical, right? Like than piano and everything like that. So I have to, with those long sets like that, I've learned now over the couple years, not, you know, I have to make sure that I'm sitting on a drum throne that actually supports me, because my back will kill if I don't, right? Or something like a half-hour set or something, like we were playing, like opening for the Pilfers or something. I don't care what I'm sitting on, but if I'm gonna sit there for an hour and a half and then do it again, I have to do something that, like, helps my back, right? But that's really, there's not a lot. The only thing like I said, that I tell people all the time, and maybe this can help anybody that's listening too, but, you know, everybody gets nervous all the time. Like, people that say that they don't have butterflies or don't get nervous before going on stage, they're just lying to you, right? The difference between someone like me and somebody that is always performing, kind of thing, is that those butterflies, I've learned to like I want that. Like, I want that, like, I want that, oh my God, we're gonna, like, and people don't like that. Like, that's fine. That's not normal. Like, that's not a normal thing. But for me, I get nervous, and I love that energy. I love that thing. And it took me a long time of playing to realize that too. To not just like drink through it, or to like avoid it or something like that. Now, like, it's like the last couple of years that I haven't drank, and even before my shit, like I was even realizing it even more. Like, and now with drums is my least, like, in my opinion, my least effective instrument, right? Like, I like playing drums a lot, but I it's like the last thing in my line of learning. So like I played trumpet first, and then piano, and then, you know, drums. So it's like I still feel like I'm a new drummer, right? So I get even extra nervous now, and I just have to kind of like that, and okay, cool, let's go. You know?
I'm trying to think. So you've only played drums with DRC, right? Have you played drums with other?
No, I played with Dirty Notion and with the Tellways too.
Okay.
Yeah, before anything happens too, I just want to make sure that I like thank Jump Up Records for this last and all the support for putting out this last one. And now Ox has a trombone.
He's on silent though, so he's
Yeah, I know. It's cool. That's
He's
fun. I
great.
can see a trombone slide. That's about it. That's cool. Awesome. But yeah, so I just have to say thanks to Chuck, and go to Jump Up and get all the music you can get, right? Go to the subscription club. The year club is I think one of the best deals that you could possibly get musically. And Jump Up has always supported Riddim Crew, and all the records are out on them, the full lengths. The singles are just Abbey Productions, my company, but the full lengths are all through Jump Up, and they've always been very, very great with us, and I really appreciate all of the support from Chuck.
and he came down for the release shows too.
Yeah, he was spinning, and yeah, it was cool. It's cool. Hello.
And he say hello. He's bugging me. He wants to play something for you. I'm telling him.
Okay. Go ahead, play. Go ahead, rock it out.
Go ahead.
Is it?
Oh, I can't hear it.
No, it's gonna.
It won't do it. When I have to when I do trumpet lessons, I have to like set the setting differently.
Yeah, doesn't pick up the music.
But it looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, it did. It was nice. It was nice.
You know what this was?
What that's going on now? I don't know. Jess, are you getting hit with a?
Yeah, no slides into the face.
We're about to witness somebody get injured here, Eric.
That's okay.
So you said all. So was it all?
Star Wars?
Oh, okay.
Star Wars, yeah.
What'd you say,
You guys
Eric?
have done 3 full lengths, correct?
Yeah. The holiday album, that's like kind of not really my full length. That was like, and I was just talking about this at practice with Fonte too, and John. Like, the first record was like a collection of all the stuff that I've had, and I just put it all together, right? Like, so the holiday record, like on the B side, has 3 songs that my brother and I recorded in Jamaica, in Kingston, with Kingston musicians, right? And then then there's like a Telways song. There's a cover with Jay and Traitors do, and and all this other kind of stuff. So that was like okay, everything on my hard drive and all of my system, I'm just gonna, like, if I'm gonna start this band, I'm gonna put it all together and just get rid of it, so I can start fresh. And then the second record, because of COVID and all the other stuff, like I already explained, like Mike, it was like kind of a catalyst there for that, when he played the bass line to a song that I've had, like Midnight Walk, I wrote when I was like 15, right? And on a trumpet, and I was like, I've always had it, in my head. It's always been one of these things that I wanted to write. And so I finally found a way to write it, and Mike played bass, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I got to write other songs and surround it with a record. And then this one was different because, of all the crap that happened, but also because, creatively, it was a lot more free. And then the band coming in, like, I was just excited as hell about it. And the fact that now I have a band, and I'm just like, okay, we want to go everywhere. Let's go. Come on. But we're going to do it the right way. We're going to get money. We're going to get this. We're going to do these things. And if not, then that's okay. We just play it local, I don't have any problem staying as a Detroit band, but if we want to play outside or whatever, get us there.
I'm trying to remember the single. So you guys did a split with, was it
With Scapones in England. Yeah, we have two splits with them. Their first US release is from me. I released it with this split. We have 2 of those, and then we have another single with a rhythm called "Oh Shepherd" with a guy from Philly, actually, singing on it, Jacques West. He's the singer on that. So if you're familiar with him around there, and then the other side is the Castle Rhythm is the other one with David Hilliard, and that was the first one. And they're all available on Bandcamp. You can get it DetroitRhythmCrew.bandcamp.com. All of the records and all the other things, and or you can get the full length set Jump Up too.
And shout out to Jump Up Records. I think they were doing a sale tonight. I might have seen. I don't know.
Yeah, they're doing something. I did shout them out already. I think you were dealing with
Probably.
You're getting hit in the head.
yeah, just keep buying all the stuff from them. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I wasn't able to this year. Last year I did the record club, and it was so amazing because you get these albums and be like, I don't know who this is, but now I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there's so many strange. I mean, the last one, I couldn't believe that he got like Out of the Dark out to the record club already. Like I was like, holy crap! Like I've seen these pictures and like people are posting and like, wow, okay, that's awesome. Because we're in with like this strange group of records and it's awesome. Like it's like really weird, cool things. Like I don't know if I was not a part of the label, I would do that. I would spend that money all the time, like on that, like yearly. You know, I'm lucky enough to be a part of it, so I can get those records for cheap or whatever, you know, when I can, so I don't have to do the yearly thing. But you know, I think it's awesome, and he has a tape club too, and all, you know, like all that stuff, like.
And I always enjoy. There's always some random stuff in your records too. Like,
Yeah.
not in your records, but in the box with your records.
Mm.
And that it's Jump Up stuff.
Like CDs and stickers, yeah.
Mhm.
Or random
Compilation CDs.
album sleeves that I'm like, I don't know who this is, but then I'm going to check this out. I don't know what it is.
I'm not in the record club, but when I order, I always find stuff in my
Yeah.
leaf.
So what is we're kind of winding down. When you think of the ska scene and the scene that you're involved in, what does that scene mean to you? Like being part of music scene or the people?
Well, I mean, it's happening with like David McWayne and everything too. Again, with Big D and the Kids Table and all that stuff. Like everybody just looks out for everybody. Like I consistently am blown away by the amount of support that was given to me through my crap, and I could never like ever thank everybody enough for that. Like there's no even explanation for it. All I can do in any effort is just keep creating and making music for people, and hopefully you like it. Like, you know, like that's the, like, all I can do is just keep, like, that's why I'm here, right? I talk about it all the time. Like, people are like, well, why do you think you survived? And I'm like, to make music and to create and to keep being here, right? And that's the big thing for me as a professor and an academic with music too, is that, like, that is what humanity is creation, right? Like, you have to create, keep writing, keep, you know, drawing, keep doing everything. Like, that's how we exist. That's why AI is horrible, right? Like, and that's why it's threatening. It's not because that AI is going to take over the world and turn into robots. It's because it's defeating creativity, and it's causing people to not be creative and not think. I would rather somebody have a piece of crap drawing than some AI crap and slop, right? Because that person, even though I might think it's crap, somebody else may think it's worth $5 billion, right? Or it's worth because they had an outlet that day, right? Or they had something to do. And so the ska scene really, even from the beginning, or even when it was like, oh, you play ska, like in the 2000s and all that stuff, when we were playing with all these indie rock bands and emo core bands and all this shit, right? Like, one of my favorite bills ever was 1592, Starfucking Hipsters, and Hellmouth.
Oh, wow.
At the Shelter. It was like my favorite bill ever. There was just crust punks everywhere, and then we're playing reggae, right? And I'm like, haha, you're dancing, you're nodding your head, I saw you, right? Like, and this was, I don't even know, 03, 07, something, I don't know when it was, but it's still one of my favorite bills because it was all just people creating, and everybody had a blast, and it was a great show, and it was just, you know, doing it. And I think that is a lot what, I mean, for me, That's what the ska scene or the music scene. I won't even say just ska, but the music scene is needs to be that vital. Whether or not we all like each other or like, I don't care about the drama. I care about the fact that there's a show tomorrow.
100%.
And everybody should buy advance tickets for that show.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, because that was part of your concern too, though, right, Jess? Like when you weren't
Yeah, I
selling.
mean, as somebody who is fairly new at throwing shows, my nerves are shot coming up to a show, not knowing who's going to be there or if there's going to be a turnout. And advance tickets just help with the planning, help you know what to expect, and maybe it takes away a little anxiety from somebody.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
at the end of the day, I'm paying the bands anyway. If it comes out of my pockets, I'm paying the bands.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps to know that people are going to be there and I don't have to worry about that.
Yep, absolutely. That's it right there. And then when you get into festival crap and 2 day stuff and like you have to double things and it's
Well, and for the festival that you're doing, and I want to say Supernova too, the pre-sales also help to get talent there because
Mm-hmm.
you need funds to
Mm-hmm.
bring bands on.
Yeah.
Want to see bands, we need to support them and pay for them and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about Boss BBQ, that all the bands are very nicely like just saying yes because they want to come and play, right? But like, if it gets bigger and I have to give guarantees and all these other kind of things, like I tell everybody right up the front, like, yeah, I'll guarantee you this, but any more than that, we'll split it. But it's not gonna, like, I can guarantee you this, and that's it. You can decide if you want to come or not. Like that's your call, right? Like you can, and luckily a lot of them said yes. They want to come, so that's cool. But that also means that yeah, like you said, Jess, it's the same. All that anxiety and all the other kind of stuff and stress and
It's there.
So
But
buy your
at the end of the
tickets.
day, I mean, yeah, buy your tickets. At the end of the day, we do this because we love it and we want good music coming through. Like the reason I started it is because nobody was bringing through the bands I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And these bands that nobody knows about, like you want people to come out and discover them.
And that's the only way I've still played music, because people did that.
Yeah. See how long we can keep this going.
Say, is there anything that we haven't brought up that you wanted to talk about, Eric?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we're also playing monthly at Bolero, which is like the bowling alley kind of thing. I think the last Thursday of the month.
That's going to be a monthly also.
Yeah, I think that is, but it's going to be Rhythm Crew and kind of like whatever I want to book there. I think so. It's not necessarily a ska night, but it's a ska night. But it's not. But it like whatever. I think we're playing the next one with like something called the Honest to God Jug Band, which is like that'll be cool. Like that would be awesome.
I think was it Doyle last time?
Yeah.
Last time?
Yeah, and then I think the Harmolodics from Ann Arbor, which is like a jazz kind of trip hop band, they're playing one of the nights and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to not compete with the ska night at Batch. Like that's my goal. Like, but we're still playing. Like we need a place to play, every week too, or every month too. So.
Yes. And that is the last Thursday tradition?
Yeah, and then the ska night at Batch is the first Thursday. So yeah. So yeah, keep coming to all of it. Yeah.
It's great that you have these these regular things to look forward to. It's nice.
I'm trying. I've been doing this for a long time with the regular nights, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Sure.
Like it's like I had a Sunday matinee once. I had like different places, different things, like
Well, Ska Thursday is definitely built. I feel like compared to as the months went on, and people got consistent with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's awesome. People like, keep coming.
Sure.
You know?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We
Thank you for having me.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we'll be talking again soon. Can we say this? Yeah. Why not, right?
I guess the question is, do you want to say this? We're good.
Well, let's just say we have a special episode where we're co-hosting with somebody from China.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Eric's gonna join us.
Mhm.
You did ask him and he said yes.
Yeah, I will. I just I don't know.
We
when
didn't
that
give him
is.
all the details yet. So,
So, oh, you
Yeah,
haven't?
yeah,
Oh,
I don't have
okay.
any details.
Oh, Eric.
so this is also new to him.
Anyway, it's called the Critical Music Club, and it airs on YouTube, but also it gets viewed by a large presence in China via some other social media site because it's very hard for them to access what we access. So it's kind of interesting. I went on one a few weeks ago, I guess it was, and I had to get on at like 7 in the morning on a Sunday because of the time thing, and it was neat. There's just like a bunch of critics, and there was like an album that was chosen, and we discussed that album, and then we all got to share like our top 5 singles from the year or something. It was pretty cool. I don't know what the topic's going to be yet. Just this is very preliminary at this moment, but something to look forward to.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Eric.
Thanks for having me.
And
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I will see you all soon.
You'll see him soon. I hope to see you soon.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Bye,
All right,
guys.
good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.